guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Life After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 23, X Conversations. Actually, that's a really good title of this episode. Alright, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Let's jump right into this video. Okay, so the first couple that we're gonna talk about is Tony and Angela. All right, so I didn't talk about Tony and Angela in the last episode because I completely spaced and forgot about them. So there is a little drama brewing, and you know what I'm saying? Angela, girl, she's a little shady. She is a little shady. Okay, so it's the pandemic and everyone's quarantined, and Tony's feeling really lonely. So he's decided that he's going to make all efforts to get back with Angela. Angela, however, is not hearing it. Every time he comes to her door, she's like, Tony, dude, why can't you get it through your head? I'm not interested in you anymore. And then he's like, but Angie, I love you. We're just like, girl, Angela, stand your ground. So Tony decides that he's gonna go talk to Tommy about Angela. And I was just like, why, Tony, do you think this is a good idea? You know Tommy's in love with Angela and he resents the fact that Angela is just going after ex-cons like you, but I guess it makes a good scene. So Tony goes to see Tommy and to get advice about Angela, and Tommy tells Tony, tongue twister, about Angela's new boo and how Angela was talking to this guy about the same time that she was talking to Tony. And now that Tony's out of the picture, she's decided to rekindle with this guy because he's out of prison. Cut to Angela talking to this idiot who's like in his car, and he's telling Angela that, you know, that he, I don't even remember the conversation. Basically, he's telling Angela that he's doing better and that he's not an idiot. And then like 48 hours later, he calls her from prison and she's like, dude, why are you in prison? And he's just like, it wasn't my fault, Angela. It wasn't my fault. The police officers, they attacked me. And we're just like, girl, Angela, why do you always pick the wrong cons? I mean, why do you pick cons? Why do you always pick the wrong cons, right? So Tony gets upset and he storms over to Angela's house, demanding answers. He walks into Angela's house and Angela's like, Tony, I don't owe you any explanation. Okay, dude, get it through your head. We are not together. And Tony's like, but you cheated on me, Angela. I paroled all the way over here to Mississippi for you to cheat on me. And she's like, dude, I didn't cheat on you, okay? And you cheated on me as well with all your prostitutes and your whores. And so it's just this back and forth in Angela's house. And I'm like, Tony, just get up and go. Get out of Angela's business. Leave her be. You know what I'm saying? I am all the way for Angela. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel a little bad for Tony, but not that much. You know what I'm saying? Not that much. All right, so that's where we leave off with them. We didn't talk about them this episode, but I thought I would bring them up because I completely forgot about them. Now, another couple that I completely forgot about is Qualin and Chevelle. All right, so let's talk about last episode before we get into this week's episode with Qualin and Chevelle. So Qualin and Chevelle have broken up. Qualin has gone back to Texas to hang out with his family who's there, and Chevelle is feeling real used and abused by Qualin. So we see Qualin with his family in a very lovely home, and they start to talk about Chevelle again, about how Chevelle is taking advantage of Qualin, that she's using money to reel him in, to get him to stay in Kansas City, when really all he needs to do is stay in Texas with his family, because Kansas City is no good for him, you know what I'm saying? That's where he got caught up at age 17 and went to prison for the last, 18 years. They start to talk about Chevelle, and he's like, whoa, hold on a minute here. You know, as much as you guys are right, she's not using me, she's not reeling me in with money, but also like she was there for me. And this gets Qualin's sister, Qualandria, very upset in her spirit. You know what I'm saying? Her chakras are disaligned because she's like, you're not gonna tell me that I didn't do anything for you, that we didn't wait out that 17-year prison sentence with you. She didn't wait it out. She was there for the last 2 years. And he's like, yeah, she was there for the last 2 years, but I mean, she was there. She came to prison to see me. She wrote me letters. She put money on my books. And his sister was like, so, I mean, the letters may not have been consistent all the time, and he's like, no, they were not consistent. You didn't write me for years. It'd be years in between. And so there's just like this battle with the sister. I mean, the mom and the other sister aren't really saying anything, and the younger sister is trying to keep peace between them. But this sends a fire up in Qualin in a way that I don't think they were prepared for. And so he gets upset. He stands up. He's like, y'all weren't there for me. What do y'all do for me? Da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. He gets up. He leaves the house. He picks up something. Looks like a shovel. Chevelle shovel. And like slams it on the ground. And the sister comes out. She's like, you're not gonna tell me nothing. So they're having that argument in the front yard. And I'm like, child, whose neighborhood y'all in acting up? You know, I don't like front yard altercations, okay? That's not me. If we're gonna be hollering outside, let's take it to the back, okay? Finally, they end up coming to some kind of consensus and just having a normal, like, human conversation about how each other felt. And I do understand Qualin's position. This boy went into jail at like 16, 17 years old, and he was in jail for almost 20 years, and his family couldn't consistently write him. Like, I understand that life moves on, but that's your baby brother. You couldn't consistently write him. You couldn't send him something once a month. Like, life got away with you that bad. And then she tried to blame it on him. Well, you're the one who did this, and we all had to do this with you. And I'm like, here's the deal. If Chevelle was consistent for 2 years, that definitely makes up for all the times that you didn't do it. It just does. Qualin is feeling some kind of way because he did promise Chevelle a certain life, and then when he got out, he realized that he couldn't do that. Now, they're both dumb for thinking that that could happen, but he does owe Chevelle something, so that's starting to weigh on his conscience. Meanwhile, back in Kansas City, Chevelle is hanging out with her cousin DeMarc, who we then find out has had the exact same situation that Qualin was in. So you're wondering why Chevelle didn't take DeMarc's advice. Like, DeMarc said he did the exact same thing to some girl who was writing him in prison when he came out. So it's like Chevelle already had somebody who was in that situation tell her from the male perspective that it wasn't gonna work, and she still jumped in. Chevelle dumb, okay? So they make Chevelle delete Qualin's number out of her phone because he, you know, is gone, supposedly broken up. And I was like, you don't invest 2 years of your time with somebody, regardless of where they are, and have it just be like, done. You know what I'm saying? That's not realistic at all. But whatever. It's a TV show and they want us to believe that. And then her mother says something really weird and gross, which is like something I've heard, but it's like too much. She was like, my grandmother always told me that to get over one man, you got to get on top of another. And I was like, ooh, that's okay. I mean, I'm glad that you guys have that kind of relationship, that mother-daughter relationship. Speaking on getting on top of another, why did they tell us about Chevelle's failed rap career? You can search her on YouTube. It's like Yellow Bone or something. It looks like my nephew filmed a music video without any real direction, and that every actor in it was just super uncomfortable and couldn't hear the track that was playing underneath it. It is awful. Chevelle looks so uncomfortable in every scene. She's not even looking in the camera. Like, it's like she's doing this, and then she's like, am I okay? Do I look okay? I'm a red bone. You know, it's just like it's really, really bad. And it's like, you paid thousands of dollars? I just feel so bad who took advantage of that poor woman, because it was just, I mean, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. It's so bad. So let's cut to this week's episode. So Chevelle and Qualin. So Chevelle has decided that she's going to, okay, this is what's interesting. So Chevelle has this friend named Jay, who she's known since high school. And they've always liked each other, but there's always been this like two ships passing in the night. One had a boyfriend, one had a girlfriend, you know, at different times. When they were when one was single, the other one was in a relationship, and vice versa, right? And so Chevelle is now reaching out to Jay because it's been a long time and she is done with Qualin. And she's now going on to Jay. Now we meet Jay. And I'm like, Jay is pretty good looking. You spent 2 years talking to somebody in prison when you could have talked to Jay? Okay. Jay is really into Chevelle. Oh, and P.S. Chevelle has finally gotten some foundation. I don't know if the concealer, like something is wrong right here. You know what I'm saying? Like this area is just like something's wrong, and like she needs to put a primer on because the concealer is not doing, I mean the foundation is not doing what it's supposed to do, but it's better. However, there is a trend happening in this entire episode where the women just take like a hot pink or a red and put it in their crease and that's it. So I'm going to try that next week to see like if it's supposed to look good, because in my opinion, it doesn't look good. But Chevelle's makeup is getting this much better. So Chevelle is talking to the cameras about about how she needs to be with a real man, and real man this, real man that, and Jay's this real man, and Qualin is not a real man, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you still the one who's dated somebody for 2 years when they were in prison, ma'am. You made that decision, ma'am. All right, so she goes out with Jay. He pulls out her chair. They feed each other food. Her lipstick is coming off. After the date, she has a great confessional where she's telling the cameras that the date was great and she's so happy and she wants to be taken out like this and treated like a queen. Yes, queen. Yes. You know? She's cheesing, girl. It's like a real gummy cheese. She is showing all of it. She's so happy. And Jay seems like he's pretty cool too. He got a gummy cheese as well. Then we cut to Qualin, who is in Texas, still working at the barbershop. When he's done sweeping, he gathers the group of barbers and they go sit outside, not socially distanced, and they start to talk about what it means to have a girlfriend, have a girl that's really down. He talks about the girl Chi-Town that he was flirting with and how she would give him advice. And it's like, sorry, sir, no, you don't get to come back to Chevelle. No, you should have realized what you had to begin with. Or you should have been honest and said, hey, I'm going to need like a year to get it together, Chevelle. You know, something. Let's have a good, honest conversation instead of just being mad at her. P.S. Qualin without his glasses? No. I mean, his hair is magnificent and luxurious, but like, he needs the glasses on. He requires them. So the barbershop guys are trying to give him advice on what he should do. And he's like, man, I'm just trying to get my baby in line. And I was like, what? Why is it that men that don't have a pot to pee in always refer to women as like property or something that they need to get in line or they need to get back? Like, is there some kind of Neanderthal thing in their brain that like tells them when they have a girlfriend that is like, mine, you're my woman? It's like, calm down. She's not your woman. She is a woman that you love and respect and want to prove yourself to again. You're not going to have to get her back in line. I don't like that. Blech. That's how I feel about Qualin. Hopefully Chevelle has moved on for the good, and hopefully we have some good drama between her and Qualin in the future. The next couple that we are going to talk about, Amber and Puppy. Okay, girl, so Puppy came out and Mama is pretty, okay? Pretty. Her and Amber make a good couple, and for some reason Amber is making it seem, it's very interesting because it's very clear that Puppy likes Amber and that she's okay with herself being a part of the LGBT community. But Amber's acting like we're not aware that she's a full-on lesbian. Like, we're aware and we're okay with the girl. Like, what do you mean? She's like, it's almost like, I don't know. It was just weird the way she was phrasing it. She's like, Puppy and I were close. She was my wifey while we were in prison, but we'll see how it is out here. What do you mean? Or is it because she's worried, or they're both worried, that when you're in prison, you create bonds with women because you need that comfort and you don't want to do your time alone, and that maybe on the outside it's not something that's viable? And I could see that, but it's very clear to me that Amber likes women. No? Okay. So Puppy gets out. Amber has makeup for her. It gives her an outfit to wear. And like for the first time in 6 years, she's like, I feel like a woman. Like I feel like, it's finally free. And I actually felt that for her. She like didn't even know what to order at the restaurant that they were eating at. And I was like, oh girl, I feel it for you. I feel for you. Hey. I don't think I love you. It's a dance break. The song break. They have a really good reunion, and Puppy decides that she wants to call Vince because she's still adopted by Vince. And so they get on the phone and they call Vince, and Vince is like, I'm gonna retract the adoption information, or he's gonna pull back the adoption. And she's like, well, haven't you been getting money since then? It's been like a couple months. And he's like, you're not gonna call me and threaten me, you know, you can lawyer up or do whatever, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, all she's asking for is the money. Just give her her cut of the money. You know what I'm saying? Just give her her cut of the money. You adopted her so that you could get extra benefits and that you would split that money between her and Amber. That's all she's calling to get. And then he gets upset and is like, don't call me and threaten me. Puppy's like, whatever. She's cool as a cucumber, okay? She is like ready for it. And Amber's actually really worried that she's gonna get caught up in Puppy and her mom's schemes because they're hustlers. They're cons. Like, that's what they want to do. They want to get off, or they either get off or they get some kind of satisfaction in getting money in a non-honest way. And so Amber's like, look, I'm not going back to prison for anybody. So if this turns out to be that situation, I love Puppy, but I don't love her that much. And I absolutely see where she's coming from. So the next couple that I'm going to talk about is Lamar and Andrea, in which Andrea makes a complete fool in front of strangers. Okay, so they're in the car, her and her kids, Andrea, Tennyson, Priscilla, and Nyla, on their way to swim in the pool of a house that she is trying to sell. Listen, I'm all about, taking advantages of certain like little simple situations. However, for Andrea to pretend that she is such a good Mormon and she's just like, walking in the light of Jesus Christ, she know what she's doing is wrong, and Tennyson knows what she's doing is wrong too. Okay, but they're just like, I guess we're just gonna go swim in this stranger's backyard because they don't live here anymore because she's trying to sell the house. And I'm like, she gonna put all that on TV? Is Andrea gonna lose her job at Century 21? I'm not supposed to do that. So they're swimming around in the pool, and Andrea's like, okay, I have a happy medium for Tennyson not wanting to go to do missionary work, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to travel and do missionary work as a family. And I am so collectively embarrassed for all of them trying to go to another country as a family to minister Mormonism to poor people, because that's basically what she wants to do. So, our poor countries is what she said. And let me do a self-correction because you guys got me all together in my first video. It's not Guyanese, which is why but I knew she was saying it wrong, but then I was saying it wrong too. Ghanaian. She was saying Ghanaian, right? Wasn't she saying Ghanaian? She wasn't saying Ghanaian. That's why I was like, no, it's not Ghanaian. It's something else. It's Ghanaian. So, she wants to go to Ghana and take her kids and let them go missionary work there. And the kids are so happy. And I'm like, happy. I'm like, y'all got Ghana money? You have money for you and all your kids just to go fly to Ghana? I wish I had Ghana money, okay? I would be in Ghana in a half second. They're all excited. They're in the pool. And then Priscilla girl spills the bean. Can my sister Shantae come? And Andrea's like, how do you know who Shantae is? And everybody's just like, I'm just like, damn, Priscilla. I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to talk about this baby, okay? I could keep a secret at 8, okay? What is wrong with Priscilla? Why would Shantae go? The whole reason why she's not supposed to tell her mother about Shantae is because her mother doesn't want her to know her sister. How come nobody explained this to Priscilla? Priscilla, she got my nerves. And then she's like, oh, I don't want my parents to fight. They're going to fight, girl, because you spilled the beans. Yes, it's your fault. I mean, it's really Lamar's fault, but damn. And so then Andrea's like, you're having my daughter keep secrets from me. And the kids are like, Mom, she told us, but she didn't want you to know, or Lamar didn't want you to know. And so we didn't tell you. Yes, it's wrong for Lamar to ask Priscilla to keep any secret from her mother. But this isn't the kind of secret that is like nefarious. This is the secret because Andrea is a lunatic and doesn't want two sisters to know each other. So Andrea is like, Tennyson, I need you to call an Uber, pack everything up, go back to the house. I'm going to go find Lamar. And Priscilla's like, but Mom. And she's like, no, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. Your father's in trouble. He's stupid. And I'm just like, this is exactly why Tennyson doesn't want to go, because you don't know how to behave. She even says that in her confessionals, that her and Lamar fight in front of Priscilla, and it's not something that Tennyson wants. And I actually liked her wig in that confessional. It looked good, right? So she hops in her car, leaves her kids at this house that it's wrong for them to be at, goes to Dulo's house where Lamar is, and gets out of the car and runs up on Lamar and tries to fight him in Dulo's front yard. And Dulo's jumping in front because anyone could call the police about this and Lamar could go back to prison. And my thing is, you talking about Utah and being so this and so wholesome, but the first thing you do, the first opportunity you get, you jump out of your black ass skin and act a fool in the front yard. No, Andrea, I'm not here for it at all. Not at all. I don't like her antics. It's too much sometimes. Why are you trying to fight this grown man because he took his daughter to go see her sister? Talking about, you have my children lying to me. They didn't lie to you. They just omitted the truth. They didn't tell you everything. because you act like this. So Dulo's like, nah, they gotta figure this out. And Lamar's almost ready to be done with Andrea. Cause like, why did he come out of prison? To be fighting with her? That's all she wants to do is fight. And I get it. I get him. He's frustrated. And I'm frustrated too. I mean, it makes slightly good TV, but I'm still frustrated. All right, so the last couple I'm gonna talk about is Destiny and Shawn. All right, I don't have much to say about this. Destiny's at her sister's house. She's a scammer. She calls Shawn and is just like, send me more money. Don't worry, I'm gonna go to court. But I need some space, but send me money. And Shawn's like, do you even love me? And she's like, yeah, I mean, I have feelings for you, but I need space. It's too much, but send me money. And he's just like, where are you? And she's like, I'm not gonna tell you that, but send me money. Shawn deserves everything that he's getting. I mean, at this point, it's like something is inside of her wrong with Destiny. Like, Destiny is a really mean, selfish person to do this to Shawn. She really is. He didn't do anything but try to maintain a relationship with the mother of his 6 kids. And she's using that as a reason to not want to be with him because he's lying to her, or it's not what she thought it was going to be, or he's not telling the truth. And I'm like, the truth is that she has really good sex with Shawn. So like, I don't understand what the problem is. But maybe she just isn't happy with his face, because I wouldn't be. But she's an asshole. So she uses his credit card to buy pizza. And then he gets emails saying that this charge might be fraudulent. So he calls the pizza shop and is like, hey, I think somebody used my card. And the dude on the phone is like, yeah, man, I'm not really supposed to give you this information, but we sent the pizza to 2257, Spruce Street. And so he's like, all right, I'm just going to show up then. I'm going to show up. And I'm like, Shawn, this is the wrong move. I mean, I see why he's doing it, but like, it's still the wrong move, Shawn. You don't know how she's going to react if you just show up. At the very least, he could text her and be like, hey, I got your address from when you ordered the pizza. I'll be there in an hour. Like something. I bet you he's not. He's going to show up on her and she's going to freak out. Girl, so she has her friend come over and it's a real like boring conversation. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Oh, did I talk about Michael? I didn't even talk about Michael and Sarah, girl. How can I forget? So the very, very, very last couple that we're going to talk about is Sarah and trifling ass Michael. All right, so Michael is talking about Malcolm, how Malcolm is this, a square, and how Sarah can go from someone like him, a boss, to someone like Malcolm. And I'm like, I just hate Michael. I mean, I don't hate him because, like, I don't know him. That's a strong word. But, like, I just don't like Michael's attitude. And so many men have attitudes like this. Michael looks like a rodent. He looks like a bat. Michael looks like a vampire bat. That's what he looks like. He looks like a vampire bat. And it's like, what are you talking about? So his last conversation with Sarah is him not, like, her saying, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. We're not going to go to mediation because if you get 50-50 custody of the kids, you could easily just take them anywhere. And he's like, but I wouldn't do that. And she's like, but you could do that. And he's like, but I wouldn't. And she's like, who's to say what you won't do or will do in the future? I'm not giving you 50-50. You don't have your shit together. And then he's like, but ma. And she's like, I don't want to have this conversation, Michael. Like, I'm really done with it. And he's like, fine then. He doesn't even, like, he's just... Michael is so hurt. You know what I'm saying? He's so hurt on the inside that he can never be without a girl and he can't live his own life and make his own money. He has to leech off of other people. I'm telling you, he is a literal vampire bat, leeching money from different women in order to survive. He is not a boss at all. He is a little simp boy on the inside. And for him to say all the things that he's saying about Malcolm, it just shows how scared he is. So Malcolm and Sarah have a farewell conversation where basically Malcolm's like, I've got a lot to think about because this girl got a lot going on and it doesn't seem like she's ready at all to truly move on with someone else because she's still got Mike over here talking about what he wants and we have to be on his schedule and that's not me. And so they hug and she's like, thank you so much for this weekend. And it feels like he walks away thinking that their relationship is like kind of on pause and he's thinking, and that she walks away thinking that they're good and she'll just see him in like a few weeks. It was very different. Then Michael shows up just as Malcolm is leaving and Michael's like, oh, there go Malcolm. And then he walks into the house and is like, Sarah. And she's like, what? And then his confessional, he's like, these men can act like, they want to be with Sarah or whatever, or like, that's their girlfriend. But at the end of the day, she my wife. And I was just like, oh, this is that drama that they all love. She's like, at the end of the day, it's me and Michael. How you gonna sit up here and do that? Sarah talks like Iggy Azalea raps. It's just like annoying. All right, you guys, so that is the end of this relationship, and that toxic relationship between Sarah and Michael is just gonna do nobody any good. Ugh. All right, you guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching this entire video. If you did watch this entire video, go on ahead and leave a Christmas tree emoji down below. I'm wearing my Santa. It's supposed to be like an ugly sweater, but I think it's cute. It says, "You better slay." I love it. Oh my God, you guys, so this is the last video. I'm gonna see you guys before Christmas, so I wanna wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah if you're Jewish. I know that already passed, or it's just ending on the 18th. You were in it. We're in Hanukkah, right? Or was it last week? I think it's the 13th to the 18th, or maybe it was the 10th to 13th. I am not sure, but blessings upon you, blessings upon your family, and I hope everybody stays safe this holiday season. And I'll see you before the New Year's for sure, all right? Have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching this video, and remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.